missed your card last week, it's still on there if you wanna. If you um, watch the repeat, the replay, and it should still be the same link as what I posted last time. But I will give you a card tonight anyway too. So awesome. Hello, Moon Honey. Thank you for your help today. All right. Starting a couple of minutes late, got distracted by some things. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some medicine card readings. Assuming I put them away where they should be. Uh-oh, there they are. Okay, and I want to grab my drum. The shaman needs a drum, needs a drum, needs a drum. Okay. Oof, I am all over the place. Give me a second and we will ground. We will get on track. First I have to get the duck wing out of my drum. How many times have you heard that phrase? Hey, Puck! Hi, Puck. Good to see you. Hi, Carly. I am well, Puck. Thank you. Hope you are too. Awesome. Okay. So, just looking, Carly and Puck. Each get a card. Awesome. So, God, I don't know what's going on astrologically, but I'm like losing my mind today. Nothing is going smoothly. It's like, I don't know. Oh, we're in between eclipses, and there's a full moon coming up, and so things are wonky. The full moon is on Thursday, I believe. So, but welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. Again, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to pull some medicine cards. If you're not familiar with that deck, it's this one here that has a different totem animal on each card. And so if you've never worked with it, I hear people all the time say, oh yeah, I used to have that deck, you know, and like most people, I've never actually used the deck. And so they're like, oh cool, I get to find out how I can actually utilize it. So, you know, each card, each animal has a unique message and unique medicine, which is why it's called medicine cards. And the way this works, the first 5 people to say yes in the comments get a 1-card reading. And people have been really on top of it tonight because we've only got 1 spot left. Wings and magic. I already put you down, Puck. I figured you wanted a card. What was I saying? Oh, and if you happen to be watching this on replay, or let me move a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer now. So if you're either watching this on replay, or you're not one of the original 5 people to get an individual reading, you are still in the running. All you need to do is choose a number between number 5. Moon Honey, I already put you down. I thought you said yes earlier. Oh, I was just jumping ahead. So I already got you down, Moon Honey. I told you, I am like all over the map tonight. So, Puck, you're number 4. But you can choose 3 too if you would like. Okay. And the reason I do 5 cards, for those of you just joining us, just new here, if you, when I do a one-on-one reading for clients, um, the, the card spread that I use is called the medicine wheel spread, and it's 5 cards. So we'll do 5 individual cards for individual people, and then we will take those same 5 cards and do a medicine wheel reading for the community at large. Oh, cool. That's your numerology number, Puck. Awesome. Awesome. Um, so, yeah. Um, so that's how it works. A few announcements. I always do the announcements at the end when people are really tired and are dropping off. But so I thought I'd start doing them at the beginning too. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That helps me out. That helps other people find me. Got a lot of resources there for you. I've got like 8 or 9 years worth of these videos. If you ever need a little bit of guidance, you can pull one up at random, choose a card number, watch it, and get a little bit of guidance. And I promise that even though it may be 10 years or whatever, that there will be some message there for you. And I also have 8 or 9 years worth of pipe ceremony. Hollow Knight, hi. We're doing medicine card readings. We're doing readings. 1 card readings for the first 5 people. I've got 1 spot left if you want it. And so, what was I saying? Oh, and so I've got a lot of resources, free resources for you. If you need guidance, or if you just want to sit in sacred space, you can pull up one of my pipe ceremony videos and just sit in sacred space while I'm doing the pipe ceremony and get a blessing. So lots of good things, and there's other things there too. And I just started, if you haven't followed me on TikTok yet, I'm having a lot of fun doing TikTok videos, and I haven't gotten to the point where I'm uploading them yet to my YouTube channel. I'm just one guy, and I have all these things that I do. And so it will happen eventually, but eventually I'll have some my TikTok videos up there. But in the meantime, follow me on TikTok too. I've got some short videos, some longer videos, stories and songs, and videos of animals and different things. So I'm enjoying that so much. Let's see. And so also please share my video. That helps me out a lot. If there's people you know who need some guidance, you share my video, or even invite them next week, every Monday night, right here, right now. Same bat time, same bat channel. And because the more the merrier. And what else? And if you would like to, if you enjoy my work, if you get something from these readings, etc., and you would like to give something back, I have my PayPal and my Venmo links in the description under this video. It helps to support your friendly neighborhood shaman. It helps me keep a roof over my kitty's head and food in her little tummy. And helps me eat and pay rent and all those kind of things. So this is my day job. So anything that comes in is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you in advance for your generosity. What else? And if you enjoy these readings and you would like to set up a session to do a one-on-one with me, we can absolutely do that. You can check my website. It's pertinentwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can see the different services I offer, shamanic services, readings and healings and teachings. Oh my! So we can do readings. I also do shamanic healing, shamanic Reiki, and soul retrieval, and fairy doctoring, and stuff like that. And then I also teaching. I have I'm going to have some classes coming up soon. I will let you know as soon as I get it scheduled. And meanwhile, I take on mentoring students, one-on-one mentoring. If you're looking for a spiritual teacher, if things are changing and you're kind of out of sync or whatever, you've had this awakening where you're like, you don't know what the heck's going on, don't know what the next step is, I would be honored to be your teacher. Not just to teach you how to become just like me, but to help you find your own heart path relationship with spirit. That's the whole point of it. So if any of those things sound good, you can connect with me right from my website, perchingmostudios.net. And I think that is all the announcements for tonight. The first thing I'm going to do before I forget is to set sacred space. And in that way, we will turn a run-of-the-mill, ordinary YouTube video into a ceremony. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Oh. Whew. I always feel so much better after setting sacred space. Alrighty, so one more sip of my blended chai. Good stuff, Maynard. And let's get started. So Kimberly, you are first up. So the basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop because I'm Kim Possible. Oh, what's it here? That's so funny, Kim. I'm singing the Kim Possible theme. That was not on purpose or consciously. Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me, if you want to page me, it's okay. Whenever you need me, baby, call me, beat me, if you want to reach me. I was just watching Kim Possible before this, so. But my text, like the ringer for texts on my phone, is the Kim Possible beep, 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 beep sound from her little communicator thingy. And so if I'm watching an episode of Kim Possible, I'm constantly looking at my phone because it's like beep, 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 beep. Awesome, awesome. I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me because I'm Kim Possible. There is nothing I can't do, so when danger comes, just know that I am on my way. Doesn't matter where or when there's trouble, if you just call my name, Kim Possible. Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me, if you want to page me, it's okay. Whenever you need me, baby, call me, beat me, if you want to reach me. Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when. I will be there till the very end. Danger or trouble, you're there on the double. You know that you always can call Kim Possible. Beep, 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 beep. Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me. That was for you, Kim. That's your theme song. You can do anything. Okay, so oops, I have to keep track of the cards so that I can find them again at the end for the community. But Kim, the first card for Kim is Bear in reverse. Um, so I know a little bit about what's been going on. I know you've had a lot of stuff going on, right? Um, and it's time. It's time to rest. That's what I'm trying to get at. It is time. It's time to retreat. To connect with the divine feminine within you, to introspect, maybe do some journaling, and kind of process and incorporate and let things settle. It's like it's time. You've done all the footwork. You have done all the busy work, the running around, the balancing the scales, keeping everything in play that needed to be in play, putting out fires, fixing leaks, keeping everything going. And now it's time for you to crawl into that cave and allow yourself to rest. You there's no more action. It's like you've done the physical conscious you has done everything that is required of her. Now it's time to surrender that to the greater you in order to put that all into order, to dream, to look inwardly rather than outwardly, right? And to look at how in all the craziness that's been going on around you, you know, this panoramic 360-degree whirlwind of activity and chaos, realizing that you are the center. Like Artemis always tells me, be the eye of the storm. It's time for you to come to center and to rest and allow whatever's happening around you to happen. And like all storms, if it needs to, it will blow itself out without your help. There's nothing more that you need to do. A dear friend reminded me of something I'd said a while back, but rest is a step forward. We think that there's activity and then there's rest when we're not doing anything. We're just wasting time. Yeah, I need my rest, but I'm not really resting because I'm still thinking about all these things I have to do and planning what I can do in the future and thinking about all these other people that I have to keep in line or please or whatever. It's time to go fallow. Interesting. My guy just reminded me of a friend of mine who was one of the most spiritual people I know, like spiritually active. She was, she's Wiccan and Buddhist, and she was like showing up to every single event at the temples and doing all these things, doing. And one day, one of the monks um, came up to her and he said, you know what? I think you need to take a break. She's like, but I'm here. I'm doing my spiritual work. He's like, yes, I think you need to take a break from your spiritual work. Go home and watch TV. Go home and do nothing. Do crossword puzzles. Do something else. Um, because we so and the thing is, so with bear comes stillness is important. Well put, Puck. Um, especially when bear comes up reversed. It's like, we're starting to fade into the autumn time, right? Winter is getting closer. And so it's time to start kind of scaling down. It's time to go inward and kind of take stock and get ready for going into our winter, right? It's like summer is when all the craziness and like in the Lakota medicine wheel, right? It's the south is fire, the south is summertime, and each of the four seasons, each of the four directions has an animal. Some people say watchtowers, guardians, or whatever, and the animal guardian or totem of summertime is coyote, because coyote is the trickster. Summer is the crazy time. Summer is when you're running around like a chicken with its head cut off, right? Nothing, it's like you're just going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and everyone's moving, and things are colliding, and things are falling apart, and there's no sense to it. It's like coyote world. And then we move into the fall when things start to quiet down, right? And then getting ready to go to sleep in the winter time. And when bear comes up reversed, it's like you're kind of entering your own winter time. In fact, everyone thinks that autumn starts on September 21st, autumn equinox, but that's actually the midway through autumn. We're already in the autumn. Autumn started on August 1st on Lunasa. That's the first day of autumn. So we're already into autumn. We are halfway to the midpoint, basically. So about a quarter of the way through autumn already. So it's good to rest. And I know that, like, in our society, we're not taught how to have quality rest time. It's like, oh, I got a break. Okay, cool. I'm going to do this other stuff. It's like quiet time, break time is the time to do those other things that we didn't have time to do before, right? No. Stillness. Sleep. It's time to sleep. It's time to, part of the purpose of sleep is to allow your brain and your mind to sort through all the happenings of the day or the week or whatever, the recent time, which it can't do when you're up and functioning and, doing, acting. And so the natural rhythm of things needs you to rest in order for it to settle, to take root, in order to grow toward your next future. Does that make sense? Just like how farmers will leave a field fallow, like they rotate their crops, right? um, Whatever their crops are, right? They'll have like a cornfield, they'll have a sunflower field, they'll have a whatever other field, and they'll have one that's fallow. It's like they have one that they leave, they don't plant anything, because the earth, when in agriculture, when you just raise one crop on a certain section of land, you deplete the earth of resources. Um, it unbalances the earth, and the soil becomes um, not as rich or fertile. And so farmers purposely leave certain fields fallow. They don't plant anything there so that the earth can reclaim it, so that the wild things that need to come in, the plants, the native plants that need to come in to help balance the pH level, or whatever the health and well-being of that soil. Otherwise, eventually, you can't grow anything there. So it's time to go fallow. It's time to just rest. Um, do what it's like. um, Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities. Hey, Kat, how are ya? So, bare necessities. You may not be in a position where you can just shut everything down, right? But leave the pilot light on, do what you need to do to get by the bare necessities, and let it's time to let the universe take care of you, okay? This is going into the cave, going back into the cave, it's time for a rebirth, right? It's time to they'll come to you, yeah. um, Bear, I've read, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've read that Bear was the very first deity ever worshipped by humans. That she is the original mother goddess, because she had dominion over life and death. To the eyes of humans, she died every winter, and then she was reborn every spring, right? And in the oldest graves of humans, they're always buried with bones from bear, so that she can help them cross over, right, into the afterlife, because she's the mother, and that the cave is the womb. It's like you're getting ready to rebirth yourself. And so you are literally setting down roots. You are literally beginning the dreams of what you will find in your own personal springtime. And so rather than looking backward at what's happened and what you could do better and how you need to improve or what you still have to do, blah, 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 it's like let go of all of that and say, okay, that's what I had. I don't like that. I didn't like that. I love that. So I want more of that. You know, rather than saying, what do I need to do, say, what do I want? Shift that perspective. Is your mother, right? Exactly, Kat. It is. It's just like Demeter and Persephone. Right now, you're Persephone going into the underworld to be in the darkness for half the year. Well, you don't have to be there for a half a year, but it's like going into the void, right? That womb. I talk about the darkness of the womb is the void. It's the womb that contains every possible future, every possible reality exists in that darkness. And so that's why we go into the darkness to dream. We start setting our sights on that road ahead into the light. So our dreams are kind of the precursor of what we want to create. And like I said earlier, you are the eye of the storm. You are the common denominator of everything going on around you. And so it is time to world paying off when you wake up. I love that. Yeah. It's like it's time for just unlimited dreaming. So, and the Persephone thing synchronizes with you, Kim. Awesome. I love Persephone. There's so much to. I mean, you could rewrite the Persephone myth with Bear as Persephone. In fact, now that I've said that, I might have to do that. But anyway, so it's like I keep this idea keeps coming up as in more and more readings that I'm doing recently, and it's like individually and collectively we're coming up to the edge of this cliff, and it's all darkness ahead of us, right? And that wide open space of that darkness, it's dark because we haven't created it yet, right? It's possibility. That's why it's called great mystery, because it is every possibility, and it's waiting for us to go into the darkness to figure out what reality we want to grab hold of and bring back with us into the light when we wake up in the spring, right? And we're at a choice point right now. It's like all possibility is in front of us. All potential lies ahead of us. We're standing on this cliff, and we have to decide if we can embrace that darkness, embrace that vast unknown potential of the future, rather than taking everything we know from the past and furnishing this new unknown future with everything we already know. Does that make sense? So it's like you're on this pinnacle, you're at this choice point where you can either keep recreating all the things that you've already done, that you already know, or you can just embrace that unknown and trust the universe, your great mother, the cosmic mother, to take care of you. And that's the main message that keeps coming through is decide what it is that you want. Not what can I deserve, not what can I get away with, what can I just get by with, what do I need just to survive? No, what do you want? What turns your heart on fire? What makes you want to dance? That is the vibe to put into the universe, because your mother wants to fulfill your wishes. Your mother wants you to experience everything that you want to experience. In fact, those desires and those things that you want, that desire is a gift from the universe as a compass to tell you which direction to go, right? So the universe isn't going to give you this desire and then pull the rug out from under you and say, psych, you got to get there on your own. The universe isn't going to give you a desire or a want or a passion if it didn't also provide you the resources with which to create that vision. So it's time to take your hands off the wheel and let the great mother take Jesus, take the wheel. let your mother steer you in the right direction. Because just like when you're a little kid, right? You want something. Sometimes those wants aren't good for you, and that's what your parents are for bringing in that wisdom of knowing what's good and what's not. And if something's not good, they can know a way to bring something similar or something better, right? They have a bigger vision of the world than you do. And it's the same way as we're human and we have these limited brains, we can't think of all the possibilities, right? The universe knows every possibility. And so if we just it's the GPS system, right? The cosmic GPS. You put in your intentions by setting your intentions. What do you want? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have? Where do you want to be? Etc., etc. And the universe, like your mother, like your little 5-year-old, I want to go to Disneyland or whatever. And your mom's the one that figures out the logistics and airplane tickets and all these other things to get you there. That as a if you're like this little kid, 5-year-old kid or something, you're not going to know how to get to Disneyland. You just know you want to get there, and you can feel yourself on the rides, right? You can see yourself hugging Mickey Mouse, and that's all you need to do right now. Let Mother take care of the details. The universe wants you to be joyful. The universe wants you to be fulfilled, and it will do everything it can to empower you and to move you forward towards those goals. Okay? So rest. It's time to rest. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Just plug in my phone. All right. So card number 2 for Moon Honey. All right, Moon Honey. Card number 2 is Lynx. I know you do shamanic work and stuff too. And in my mind, Lynx is like the hollow bone that every shaman is trying to be. She is the keeper of secrets. She's kind of the matron goddess of psychics and seers. Because she sees everything. Like when you meet her and she looks at you, she's not just looking at the surface. She looks through you. She knows, she can see everything about you. But she does so without judgment. There's no, oh my God, I can't believe they do that or they think that or whatever. It's like, nope. She sees you as you are. She sees everything about you. And she is the keeper of secrets, not the expresser of secrets, right? The speaker of secrets. She sees everything, and she doesn't volunteer information, because that would come from a place of judgment. Oh, you should be doing this better, or you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever, right? Um, so she kind of assumes that a person is exactly where they're supposed to be at any given moment, which everyone already is. Um, and it's not until she is asked that she will share information or advice or whatever. Kind of like there's people who believe that the Great Sphinx in Egypt was actually, it wasn't a lion, it's actually a lynx. You know, and you've got the riddle of the lynx, right? It's like, um, and it doesn't volunteer anything until you answer the riddle, and just like that, like lynx doesn't doesn't volunteer information. She just keeps her own equilibrium, and not until somebody asks her for advice or asks her a question does that give her the opening to address different things. Does that make sense? Kind of like until a question is asked, she's like, I have no business telling this person to do anything differently. Um, so, um, and the part that I think, like coming upright, this is kind of a validation that you've been doing your work, um, because for her to be able to keep the secrets of others, to see, to witness others in their truth, with all their secrets, etc., she can't have any secrets from herself, right? So she's done her shadow work. She has no filters, she has no illusions, no projections. She's done her work so that she knows who she is. So there's nothing left in that hollow bone to get in the way of spirit coming through. Does that make sense? Um, and if there are issues coming up, and you're thinking, God, I thought I had already dealt with this. Where is this coming from? You know, whatever it is, know that those things are just coming up to be flushed out, to create the space that you hold for spirit. Because the less issues we have, the more space there is for spirit to come through unadulterated, right? Then we can truly be the eyes and the voice and the hands of spirit. Um, so I think in a way this is like a thumbs up, like a way to go kind of thing. And an encouragement that even if there are things that you might still feel like you're kind of tripping over, um, or keep coming up and you know better or whatever, um, to know that is in process, that's not, it's not coming up to punish you, it's not coming up um, to trick you or to test you. If it's coming up, it's coming up to be released. And she's saying, I see you. You are seen, you are loved. I love that, like in Avatar, like the Na'vi people, they're I don't remember what the phrase is actually, but in the Na'vi language, their their phrase for saying I love you is actually I see you. So this is a message from the universe that you are seen, that you are appreciated, that you are loved, that you are doing your work, that you are doing the work of the universe. And give me a second. You don't realize the ripples of light and love that you put into motion by what you do. Don't sell yourself short. You are the real thing. And you move mountains. Okay? I don't know. That was an interesting. I don't usually channel during these. You're so welcome. You're so very welcome. All right. So then we have card number 4 for Carly. And if there's anyone that came in later, we've got 1 spot left. If anybody wants a 1-card reading. Otherwise, we'll just do four cards tonight. Give me a second. I need to get some water. Meet me if you want to reach me. All right. So, oh, okay, Carly, we just got to your. We're just about to do your card, so perfect timing. All right. All right. Starting to see a theme. Carly, card number 3 is lizard in reverse. Lizard is the dreamer. Like all the things I was talking about with Bear. When Lizard comes along in reverse, it's usually like the main message under everything else is dream bigger. like I said earlier, don't settle. Don't, like, I used to go see Ramtha the Enlightened One. He's a channel descended master that is like an hour and a half away from here. Um, and one thing he said that's always stuck with me, he always says, don't manifest the money for the shoes, manifest the shoes. Right? Um, Focus on what it is you want. Focus on the end game. Focus on the result that you want. Um, Not, well, I want this, but if this other thing comes along, that's okay. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. Right? No, none of that. You deserve the best. You deserve to be fulfilled. You deserve to be joyful. You deserve to be fulfilled. You deserve to be passionate. And so don't stop short of any of those. You know, we get caught up in that whole thing, like I ask people all the time, it's like, okay, what did you want to do when you were little? Who did you want to be when you grew up, etc., etc. Right? And a lot of people don't even know because they were so saddled by limitations from such an early age that we don't even have permission to daydream about things that are seemingly out of our reach, right? And that is one of the most damaging aspects of our educational system, of our world, right? But when you wish upon a star, I guess it's a Disney theme tonight. It's like one thing that I am really grateful about for myself is that, I mean, I'm a cartoonist. Some of you might not know that. Besides being a shaman, I'm also a cartoonist. And my daydream when I was little was to work for Disney. I wanted to be. We're on number 3, Puck. You are number 4. You're next. This is for Carly. I wanted to work for Disney. I wanted to be a cartoonist. I wanted to be an animator. And so, like, I lived and breathed Disney movies when I was growing up. And I guess one of the benefits of not having a lot of friends growing up was that I didn't have anybody to talk me out of those things. Like, every time a new Disney movie would come out, it would be some theme of when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Okay, that's a little out of my range, but I believed in magic, and I never had anyone outside of my parents who tried to kind of tamp it down a little bit now and then, but I never was around people who would, like, thought that was stupid, or you got to get real. You can't. Well, one of the things that I was told from time to time was, you can't draw cartoons all your life. You got to do something realistic. But I never let go of that inner child, that dreaming kid that I was. And so a lot of times when we're talking about law of attraction or manifesting, and like, well, what do you want? Who did you want to be when you grew up? And people might have an answer, they might not have an answer. And even if they have an answer, it's like, I can't do that. I'm this old now, and there's the economy, and there's this, and there's that. It's like, screw that stuff. You're the center of your reality. You are the dreamer of your reality. And like I was just saying earlier, it's like when you decide what you want, the universe will help you get there. It's a matter of undoing all the other belief systems that have been put on you, saying that you can't. It's, law of attraction is not like, well, think of what you want and then step back a couple of steps to a place that is affordable. Dreams are dreams because they're impossible. But I live seeing the impossible happen every single day. It wouldn't be dreams if it was run of the mill, right? So let yourself daydream. Let yourself dream big. If money, take other people, take expectations, rules, everything else out of the equation, and just say, who do I want to be? What do I want? And that's the destination you put into the GPS system, and then you let go and you allow the universe to guide you to that destination. The universe isn't going to get you 3 blocks away and say, okay, that's close enough. You can walk the rest of the way. No, you put in that destination, that is where the universe will take you. And like I said earlier, the things that turn you on, the things that make your heart dance, that is your purpose. That is what you came here to do or to be. And the world has talked you out of it. Allow yourself to remember those things. In my shamanic work, I do soul retrieval, right? That's one of the big things that I do that I love. And which is like when we have, and to put it into a nutshell, like whenever we experience a trauma of some sort, like part of our psyche, part of our soul goes off to protect itself, right? And so we feel disassociated. And soul retrieval, I have specific guides that help me go find those soul parts, bring them back to a person to make them more whole, right? Kind of an aspect of soul retrieval is what we call soul remembering. Instead of going to find these soul parts that might be hanging out there someplace to protect themselves that haven't found their way back, I journey to the point just before a soul was born, before my client was born, so that I can get the entire picture of what that soul had in mind. What was the template? What was the dream that soul had for coming here? And then that is what I retrieve and I blow into that person's heart and crown chakras. And we call it soul remembering, because it's bringing back the remembrance of what you came here for. So it's time to remember. It's time to take everyone else out of the equation. Make space for miracles. A while back, actually when I was married, a lifetime ago, one of my ex's favorite authors was a fantasy author named, her name just went, Mercedes Lackey. And she came and did a talk at our local library one time. So we went to see her. And one of the things she said really stuck with me. She was talking about her process of writing the stories. And she's like, you usually know where the story starts, Oh, Puck, you drew Ariel and the pirate from Peter Pan when you were a kid. Awesome. I've always drawn comics and cartoons and stuff. Um, Crap, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. That's why I try not to pay attention too much to the comments. What was I saying? Oh, Mercedes Lackey. She was talking about her writing process, and she said, when you're writing a book, especially like a fantasy fiction, sci-fi kind of book, you kind of know where it's starting, and you know where it is going to end up for the most part. Hi, Lasadi. And it's the middle you have to figure out. And so she says, as I'm writing the story, I come to a problem. Like there's a challenge that arises, right? A conflict or some problem that needs to be solved in the story. And so she has it leading up to that, what that problem is. And she knows what's going to happen once they solve that problem. So she has it written up to here. And then she writes it from that point forward as much as she knows. And she says she puts a Post-it note in that spot that says, miracle happens here. There's no reason you can't live your life the same way. You know where you want to go. You know where you've come from. And so you have these two parts of the story. Leave space for the miracle. That's the realm of the universe. That's the realm of spirit. Spirit will make miracles happen in order to connect those two timelines, or whatever you want to call them, right? Always leave space for miracles. If you're on top of everything, trying to contrive everything and make everything work, and know it step by step by step by step by step, and all the ramifications and permutations of every little step you take, there's no space for miracles. And you are the hero of your own story. Oh, I'm so glad, Kim. Yeah, step back and observe. That's the time when it's time to take your hands off. Jesus, take the wheel. Because you aren't in charge of what happens. It's kind of like there's this meme that I've seen. It's usually like a picture of a Buddhist monk or something, and it's like, relax, nothing is under control. That's how in sync we are, Puck. You typed step and I said it at the same time. And that's kind of where I am in my own life right now, to tell you the truth. It's like I have this past, I have all these things, and I'm coming face to face with all these kind of belief systems, or self-worth issues, or self-trust issues, different things like that have always been in my way to become who I am supposed to be, right? And so I'm in the process of dismantling all of that right now, and figuring out, letting go of all that stuff, instead of saying, I want to go there, and then all the filters come up, say, well, this is probably more likely, but you don't want to piss off these people, and you don't want blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, boom, focus on where you're going. If anyone has ever played The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, there's one part when you're going through the dungeons where Link gets the hook shot. And it's like this spring activated grappling hook. And if there's like a target on the other side of the wall, on the wall on the other side of a chasm or something, if you shoot at the target, that hook goes out, gets on the target, and then it pulls you across that chasm. That's how to manifest. You figure out the target, you figure out where you're aiming, where you're going, and then you send out that intention, that hook, and then you let go and allow it to pull you there. You're not supposed to chug, 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 chug. You need to let go and allow the universe to draw you forward to that target. So dream big. And like what I was saying, another aspect of Lizard is, thank you, Puck. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Another aspect of Lizard is the whole idea of dropping, like Lizard will drop its tail. If it's being attacked, it'll drop its tail, and the tail wiggles around and keeps the attention of the predator so that Lizard can get away, right? And so, like I was just talking about myself and these issues and things coming up in my face, that's the lizard tail that I need to drop in order to go forward. Those are the things that are holding me back, right? Those things come back, and I can either look at them and react to them and think, oh, that's the wall, that's the limit, that's the barrier, I can't go any further than that, and so I'll just keep bouncing off those issues, creating the same life I've always had. Or I can say, screw that, dropping that is holding me back, I'm going to drop that, let other people discuss at their leisure whatever I'm doing, and gives me the chance to keep moving forward on my path. You can literally do anything. You can become, what was that thing that, I have an oracle card in my bathroom from Abraham Hicks, and it's like, you can have, do, or be anything you can imagine. And that is the prerequisite, is to believe it, to leave space for that miracle. You know, like, I love that quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer about, I am realistic, I expect miracles. Awesome, Carly. You are a dreamer. Dream big. And don't, you know, and okay, this is the last bit my guides are telling me. When you're moving forward towards your goals, right? Other people might tell you you're crazy, or they might get down on you, or even get angry at you. But remember that an airplane, in order to take off, requires air resistance, right? If it wasn't for the air resistance, the plane would never get off the ground. It's the air resistance that lifts it up. So even if people are against you, use that as more fuel to keep moving forward. Saying, you know, instead of saying, oh, I guess you're right, it's like, watch me. Hold my beer, right? Because you came here with a purpose. You would not have the purpose. You would not have the desires, the likes and dislikes, the personality, etc., that you have, unless you were meant to fulfill. It's kind of like, I guess that wasn't the last thing. Kind of like in Avengers Endgame when Thor goes back in time and meets his mom again, and and this is after Mjolnir has been crushed by his sister Hel, um, and so she's talking about it's time for you to be who you are, not who you're supposed to be, because he was born the prince of Asgard. He was the prince of the All-Father Odin, right? So he always had a role. He always had a title. He always had something he had to fulfill in the eyes of everybody else. And he never got to be who he actually was, or even to know who that was. And that's what his mom was like, it's time for you to stop being who you're supposed to be and find out who you are. And he puts his hand out, right? And Mjolnir from that time comes, he's like, I am still worthy. You are still worthy. Be who you are, not who you're supposed to be. Okay? All right. If anyone has come in the meantime, I still have one spot left. We're moving on to card number 4 for Puck. And if you did come in and you want that last spot, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And Carly just said yes, but I'm assuming that was towards something I said, not wanting another card. Although if you wanted another one, I don't see why you couldn't get another one. I suppose if there's not, if there's ever a time when there's not 5 cards, if someone had a card and they want clarity or something, you could always get a second card. You're so welcome, Carly. My pleasure. It is my genuine pleasure. So, otherwise we might just have 4 cards tonight. That's where they're telling me to take one from the middle of the deck. Ha! Alright, Puck. Card number 4 is Jaguar. Jaguar is about integrity. Number 1, integrity of, doing the right thing even if no one is watching, kind of thing. Basically walking your talk, actually embodying the things that you say you believe, right? If what you believe, if you are not how do I put this into words? If you believe one thing, but you don't live in a way that validates that, you might as well not believe that stuff. Does that make sense? And it's difficult because it's easier to say, oh, I believe this thing and blah, 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 but then when it comes to the point of actually seeing the evidence of it or proving it, it's kind of like we kind of bulk on getting that validation and stuff because it's like having that belief is comforting to us, but we don't want to push it too far just in case it rocks the boat. And what if we're wrong? What if what we think we believe is complete, crap? And so it's being comfortable in your own skin, trusting, like I was just saying, trusting who you are in your essence, knowing there is nothing wrong with you, that you are who you are for a reason. Like Mr. Rogers says, you're perfect just the way you are. And you make every day special just by being you, right? And so this is about being true to yourself fiercely. This is like fierce self-appreciation, self-love, what's the word I'm looking for? And that doesn't mean that you attack everyone who is counter to that, to who you think you are. It means that you stand your ground, right? That you're not swayed, like you're not swayed by the opinions of others. Someone else says, "Oh, that's crazy." You're like, "That's fine for you to believe that. That's true in your world, maybe, but not my world," right? It's kind of like I saw this article of someplace that way back, I think probably in like the early 1900s or something, maybe it was later than that, I don't know, but the point is that they were wondering if a cheetah, which was faster, a cheetah or a greyhound? Thank you, Puck. Exactly. Practice what you preach. Never lower your. That's just the perfect way of putting that, Tiffany. Thank you. So they got they got a greyhound track. They had greyhounds, and in like the last little thingy, they had a cheetah. They were going to see which was faster, the cheetah or the greyhound, right? So it's like they're getting all ready, and they hit the sounding bell or gun or whatever they do at greyhound races, and the gates flew open, and the greyhounds go running out after the rabbit thingy, and the cheetah's just laying there in the gate. It's like, I don't have to prove myself to you. I have nothing to prove to you. You have nothing to prove to anybody, right? Kind of like Captain Marvel, right? Going back to the Avenger movies and stuff, at the end where Jude Law, I can't remember his character's name, he was kind of her mentor and just trying to get her to act without without her powers, that if she can't do it without her powers, she doesn't deserve to have the powers or whatever. And at the end, they're facing down, and he's like, "This is the moment we've been waiting for. Now, take me without your power. And she just went boom, like with her power, and just threw him against the rocks. Like, I have nothing to prove to you. It's not a contest. It's not a race. Literally, I have nothing to prove to you. I am who I am, and that's perfect. I am worthy. I am enough." Jaguar doesn't worry about what others think of her. She's the apex predator. She's the queen of the jungle. Um, she bows before no one. But it's God, Disney. Tonight is like Disney themed. Lion King, right? When Mufasa's in charge, everyone is taken care of. Everyone, by him being who he is, everyone else is taken care of because he sees the big picture, the circle of life. And as soon as Scar becomes the king, it's like he's greedy and wants just what he can get, and everybody else suffers, right? Um, and God, where was I going with that? Um, when you are exactly who you are. So she doesn't bow to anyone, right? She is the queen, right? But by um, her heart is her authority. She listens to her heart. That is the sign of a true leader, a true sovereign, right? She listens to her heart, and when she goes hunting, her heart tells her which deer to take down. And it's usually the weakest or the sickest or the slowest or the oldest, right? So that by taking down those specific deer, she's seeing to her own needs, she's seeing to her own well-being, but she's also making the herd of deer faster and healthier. So by being herself, she is benefiting everyone on that whole circle of life. She doesn't bow to anyone because there's no one above her, but there's also no one below her. She's not she doesn't require others to bow to her either, right? So it's about, and the other aspect of integrity is being whole, like the integrity of a ship, right? If the whole of the ship's integrity has been compromised, there's going to be holes in the hull, and the water's going to get in. The ship is eventually going to sink, right? And it's the same thing. It's like with your energy. If you are who you are, if you are aligned with yourself, and you shine, the more light and love you shine outward from yourself, like a star, there's no place for lesser things to come in, right? It's your own sense. This is something that I came to recently when I was at a Sundance ceremony. It was like the places where I don't feel confident, where I feel inadequate, where I doubt myself. Those are the holes in the hull of my ship. That's where things get in. That's where people get their hooks into me. And it affects my entire energy system. It affects me, lowers my vibration because I'm accepting these outside things as truth. When if I can trust myself and trust my alignment and shine in every direction, there's no place for any of that doubt or anything to get in. I mean, you always question things, right? Like, oh, I did that. What were the results? Or, oh, I don't feel good about what I did there. And instead of allowing that to be a hole in your energy where every time something like that comes up, like, oh my God, I'm just crap. I am so worthless. It's like that feeling is to remind you of what happens when you choose that particular path, so that when that kind of thing happens in the future, you remember that feeling and say, oh, been there, done that, I'm going to go this way now. You're supposed to grow from those moments. That's why they make us feel bad, not to punish us, to let that stay to be this black hole in our system, but to be that solid ground that we can move from with strength and say, okay, been there, done that. I don't want to go back to that feeling, so I'm making a different choice. And so, again, it's like that fierce self-respect. Right? And cats are just, especially Jaguar in the jungle, she's just fiery, right? I mean, um, and one thing I had a friend when I used to have a day job in a warehouse, and one of my friends there, I just happened to, like, he was talking about something and what do I do and what if they don't like me, blah blah blah, and I was like, your self-worth, your well-being is not dependent on the opinion of others. You are a sovereign being. Who you are is not dependent on others' opinions. And that was so mind-blowing to him that he wrote that and put it on a wall, on his wall by his desk. Like, my well-being is not dependent on the opinion of others. You are whole unto yourself. And it's kind of like that quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, right? No one can make you feel inadequate without your permission. God. I'm glad. I hope you guys don't. I'm constantly going on these little tangents and analogies and stuff. But in Kung Fu, the TV show, right? They talk about the crane style, um, and how that style of Kung Fu came around because a monk witnessed a crane defending its nest from a tiger. And it wasn't that he was like battling the tiger, that crane, or she probably, because it probably was the mom, but every move that the tiger had, she had a defense for, right? So it was a neutral thing. She wasn't attacking, she wasn't getting the upper hand, she was just neutralizing what the tiger was doing. And they talk about it as when the tiger's claws struck, there was nothing there for them to sink into. And so it's becoming so aligned with yourself that people might strike at you, just like like Miyagi said, if they're gonna punch at you, just don't be there. Don't be there when their fist gets there. Um, So work on your sovereignty, work on that. Your only source of energy, of power, of who you are is creator. You don't get power, you don't get anything laterally from other people, right? I mean, we're constantly exchanging energy and stuff like that, but that's not the origin of your power, of your abundance, of your well-being. There's only one source, creator. And the more you're in line with source, the more this other stuff doesn't matter. And you, like Miyagi says, like, someone might punch at you and you're just not even going to be there. There's nothing for them to sink into. There's no substance there. So trust your heart. Your heart is your authority. Your heart is what connects you to creator. So if your heart tells you something to, go in that direction or don't do that, whatever it is, trust that's the voice of God. That is how creator communicates to us, is through our hearts, right? And the thing is, our heart is what connects us to the heart of all humankind. So if your heart tells you that something is good, something is to go in a certain direction or do a certain thing, you don't have to get in your head wondering how it's going to affect other people, if it's the highest good for everyone. Your heart has already done the calculations, and only gives you what is the best for everybody, what is the highest benefit for all beings. That's the only way the heart moves, is in unison with the highest good of all, because there is only one of us here, right? Like in the Buddha, I think it's Buddhist, they talk about the sum total of souls in the universe is one. We're all part of the same soul. Everything we do affects everyone else because we're all part of that same system. And the more you do for your highest good, the more you do that empowers you, that increases your well-being, that makes you stronger and healthier and wiser, that only benefits everybody on the planet. So, I hope that makes sense. Alrighty, so unless there is any latecomers that want a card, I do have one spot left, although I'm running short on time. My loquaciousness sometimes gets the better of me, but oh, I'm so glad, Puck. Good to see you again. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us again. All right, so we will just do a 4-card reading tonight for our community reading. So as I am flipping through the deck, looking for the cards that already were pulled today, I thought I would go again through my announcements. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Puck. Thank you. I am honored by your presence. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a free resource if you need guidance, if you need to sit in sacred space, send prayers, need a little help turbocharging any prayers or intentions you have. You can pull up one of my sacred pipe ceremonies and send up those prayers and intentions. Because when I'm doing my pipe ceremony, like when you put that pipe together, the bowl and the stem, it's the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together, and it becomes all of creation. It's like the divine presence in our hands, on our lap. And it creates a channel straight to Creator. So every intention you set, every prayer you say in that sacred space is like shoom, straight to Source, with no waiting, no lines. Okay, who am I missing? There. And that's on Wednesday nights. That's my other weekly video I do, Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific time, if you would like to check that out. It's the most sacred and profound ceremony I know, and I was raised Catholic. I was literally born into ceremony and ritual, so I know my way around ceremony and ritual, and that was, what am I doing? That is hands down the most powerful ceremony that I know of. And if you enjoy my work and would like to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, my PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. And anything you give is so greatly appreciated. I don't even have words. And it goes straight to helping me to helping me to focus more on my work, on bringing having more time and energy to put into classes and these videos and all that kind of stuff. So this is my day job. So this is it. So I appreciate anything that comes in, any generosity you have. And if you enjoy my work and would like to work with me one-on-one, you can do that. You just visit my website, pertinentstudios.net, and you can learn more about me. You can see the different services I offer, readings and healings and teachings. Oh my! I do the card readings. We can do a one-on-one card reading where I can go into more depth than I can do right now on a public forum. I do healings like shamanic Reiki, soul retrievals that I mentioned earlier, fairy doctoring, working with the Fae, all kinds of different things, and then teaching. I have a number of classes I'm getting ready. They're imminent. They're coming. That I'll be posting soon. But besides that, I also do one-on-one mentoring. If you are looking for a spiritual teacher, I would be honored to help you find your heart path, your relationship with Spirit, with Creator. That's what it's all about. So, and I love teaching so much. I love having that front seat, front stage seat to watching people connect things together, to connect the dots and start to find their own wings and such. So that is the plugs. So I am going to turn my phone downward now. Oh, we've got a little bit. Oh, that's why I did it that way. Okay, hold on one second. Let's see if we can. There we go. Okay. So, can we see all the cards? Kind of. So, we didn't have 5 cards tonight. We only had 4, but that's okay. So when we have a 4-card reading, I usually go with like where we're starting, kind of. It's like a hero's journey. Oh, just sorry. I'm like. Okay, so if you came to me, let me make sure those are all on camera still. Okay. If you came to me for a one-on-one, this is kind of the spread I do, except there's a 5th card in the middle, the center, the Spirit card. And my guys are telling me to do it this way because this is east, south, west, and north. So I know my camera might be on mirror, so I don't know if those reflect correctly on what you're viewing, but east, south, west, and north. And so it's like the hero's journey. And so starting in the east where the sun rises, this is the beginning of the hero's journey. This is the challenge or the problem or the quest. And the east is air, so that's the mental realm. And so here we have bear in reverse. And so, like I said earlier, bear in reverse is time to go into the cave. So instead of this being an outer journey, hero's journey, out and about the world, this is more of an inner journey, going into our own darkness, into our own source, our own origin. Kind of to meet ourselves again, to let go of the light of the past, of everything we know, letting go of all the knowns and turning instead into the unknown territory of the self, the inner world, to find out, like I mentioned with Thor earlier, to become who you are rather than who you're supposed to be. So our where we're starting from, the goal is to meet ourselves, our true selves, to shed all the expectations and the roles and the labels and everything else that have been put upon us, and to rebirth ourselves out of that womb, the cave, the womb of the earth, give ourselves the space we need to dream, and to settle and to get connected. The still, like that still small voice that they talk about being the voice of God, right? It's within you, and if there's other noises around, you can't hear it. And so this is like searching for that still small voice, searching for that alignment within. And interesting, if we jumped across to the west, because the cars opposite each other tend to relate in different ways. And the west is water. The west is water, so that is like the emotional realm. And so over here in the emotional realm, we have lizard in reverse. And it's like these two are very related. It's like we don't quite know who we are. All the things we've been told about ourselves have proven wrong. And so we're left with this big emptiness, that womb, right? Trying to find out who we are. In the mental realm, meanwhile, in the emotional realm, we're trying to become who we're trying to meet. We're trying to become who we are, right? The emotional realm is more of that experience of who you are, not just who you think you are, but actually who you physically feel you are. And so this is learning again, like with Bear going into the cave, shedding the outside world. And this is that the lizard dropping the tail, dropping everything that's holding it back. It's like all this heaviness, this baggage that's dragging behind him. He's dropping that so that he can speed off even quicker, and dream, be clearer on his dreams, be clearer on the intentions of who he wants to become. And so between these, it's like not letting this limit who we dream ourselves to be, and not letting who we've been told we are, like who we feel, who we grew up. It's like the emotional side is all those doubts and the confusions and all that kind of stuff, having doubt in ourselves. So like between the two of these, it's like the thoughts of who we think we've been told we are holds back our forward progress in becoming who we are, and those emotional issues and traps of like worth and value and doubts, etc., keep us from seeing clearer who we actually are, who we believe ourselves, who we can see ourselves to be. But the thing is, it's like those two things are the things in reverse. That doesn't mean that we're doomed. It doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong. It means these are the two things that are in transition. This is where the action is taking place. And the thing is, we've got we've got two cats, two felines, right? And we've got Jaguar, the one in charge of integrity and following your heart in the south, which is fire, which is passion, which is action. So um, deep down, we do know who we are. We do know where we're going. We do know what to do. We're just trying to get out of our own way. Because if we would trust our intuition, trust our instincts, we're already whole. You know, and that's the thing about like shamanic healing. It's all based on the fact that that you know, like talking for myself, whoever is in front of me, the client, no matter what they're experiencing, whatever disease or discomfort or whatever it is that they're feeling, that is just a surface thing, and underneath all of it, they are whole. They are already whole, and it's bringing that wholeness forward. So this wholeness is sitting here ready to pounce as soon as we get to a neutral place with these, where we're not projecting, not trying to make ourselves better than we are, but also not holding on to the old patterns of that we're just crap, and you know, we live and we die and we go back to the worms. As soon as we can get to a neutral point in here, boom, the Jaguar pounces. And it's kind of like that. There was I read some, I don't remember what book now, it was like a Zen book or a Taoist book about these people met this monk on the road, and they asked, well, who are you? And the monk was like, well, before you told me, I knew exactly who I was. But now that you've asked me and I have to speak it, I don't know who I am. And so when we stop trying to explain and be outside ourselves, trying to set limits or context or whatever else, boom, we will become who we are. And our dreams and our thoughts and our emotions will balance, and we won't need to define them anymore. Right? And then opposite Jaguar, we have Lynx, our other kitty cat. And this is, the north is Earth, so that's the physical realm. So it's like the logistics, it's like the manifestation of this. And so it's like, the more like this integrity, the more in alignment we are with ourselves, the more clear we will be, the more we'll be able to witness the wholeness and the connection of all things, right? There is no such thing as separation. And when we can move in unison, in alignment with ourselves, we're in alignment with everything and everyone else, so that we can see the connection. There's this really awesome animated movie called Superman All-Stars. And it's like this thing where Lex Luthor actually succeeds in his goals to become more powerful than Superman. But when he gets to be, or at least his equal, but when he becomes as powerful as Superman, all of a sudden his eyesight is better, and he can actually see the atomic connection of all things. He can see the atoms. He can see beyond the physical to where everything is connected. And because he knows himself and can see and feel himself connected to all things, he can't do any harm. He can't do evil. And so by attaining his goals, he basically becomes his worst nightmare. But it's not, because he becomes the most fulfilled he ever has been. He can see. So in becoming our full, powerful self, by empowering ourselves and becoming as authentic and pure as we can, that's what allows us to see the connection of everything. to see how we fit in and how everything is related. We can see the truth, and we don't have to be vocal and be on the street saying this should happen and that person is wrong and that should change and blah blah blah, because we see the perfection of the wholeness of it, that everything is perfect just as it is, and that it's just a change of perspective that helps to see that perfection. And by seeing that, the thing is, like, in quantum physics, the observer is everything. The observer creates what they see, right? So here, the keeper of secrets, the one who sees the whole picture, who sees beyond the facade and the surface, it's like the double slit experiment, where they were trying to figure out if light was a particle or a wave. And they put they had like a board or something, like an obstacle. They put 2 slots in it, 2 slits, and then they had a backdrop, and they sent light through, and they figured if light were a particle, it would have to go through one slit or the other, and that would leave a certain pattern on the backdrop. But if it was a wave, it would go through both at the same time, and it would create a whole different pattern on the backdrop. What they discovered is light acts both ways. And the thing that the outcome depends on is whether anybody is watching or not. If someone is watching, if someone is observing, the light acts as a particle and chooses one or the other slit, and you get that interference pattern on the backdrop. If no one is watching, the light acts as a wave. It's like it's in all places at once. It's a field rather than a thing. And by watching it, we create what we see. And so when we get clear and in alignment, we start to observe the wholeness. Yes, everything is perfect as it is, but by observing it, it becomes more perfect, if that makes sense. By observing it without judgment, without trying to change it, everything changes, right? She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. So just by observing the true nature of reality, the true nature of humanity, and seeing the wholeness of each and every person and the value of each and every person, we will change reality. Reality itself will change in response to our witnessing it. And so, if this were a full reading, there would be another card. So let's just see what happens. So in this hero's journey, we come full spiral back to the beginning. We started with the Great Mother, the Divine Feminine, and we came back. Otter is the embodiment of the Divine Feminine. Otter is about femininity. It's about inclusion. It's about valuing each other. It's about community. It's about matrilineal society, the matriarchy. And there are no hard edges in Otter's world. Everything is curved. Everything is round. Everything flows. Otter is like an embodiment of the very river. They're fluid, and they roll, and they curve. And they're super intelligent. They play. And just, again, bringing in Mr. Rogers, it's like Mr. Rogers talks about how play is not frivolous. Play is how we learn. Play is necessary to the learning process. And so everything that Otter does is play. And if there's a problem, if there's a challenge, they find the easiest, quickest, funnest way to solve it, to resolve it. Look at that. Look at that face. Let's make sure I'm holding it up so you can see. Look at that face. Just that look of I don't know if contentment is the right word, but it's that sense of fulfillment, of being enough, of being like that moment, that being is perfect in that moment. But that perfection does not, that perfection is, every moment is perfect, no matter what is there. So we fall asleep looking for the divine feminine, we come around and we become that divine femininity, the creator, the mother of the universe, and all the creation being, like the Native Americans say, all my relations. Aho Matakuyasan. We are all related, and that's not just humans, and that's not just humans and animals, that's everyone, every being, every plant, every rock, every river, every cloud. We're all part of the same family. We're all one being. And so where we are headed is to that realization, not just in the thinking, like nebulous thought, kind of, oh yeah, wouldn't that be cool if, but in the employment and application of that, becoming that, living that truth. So, oofda, that is what I see. Are we setting contentment at the same time, Puck? That's funny. Oh, frivolous? Frivolous meaning no reason, no purpose. Frivolous means there's no reason for it. It's just fluff. There's no substance. It doesn't have any purpose, any reason. Hi, Jazzy. Oh wow, a lot of people came in while I was doing that one. Oh, Jazzy, I wish Jazzy. Okay, you said yes, but my phone was pointed down, so I didn't know you were there. But I did pull a fifth card. So if you want to go back and watch, this is your card. This is the fifth card. That is your card. So the things I said about Otter goes for you, okay? If you're still on here. And Walks Alone, hi. Wow, we had a number of people coming on. Whoops, there we go. Yeah. So I hope that made sense. I hope that helps you. I hope that empowers you. I hope that helps you to remember your own greatness. The whole purpose of life is remembering. The solution to everything, healing, etc., is remembering the wholeness that already exists. So that is our night. Thank you everyone for joining me. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Love to have you along for the ride. I have my PayPal and Venmo links in the description if you want to support your friendly neighborhood shaman. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one, check out my website, pertinentstudios.net. You can contact me right through my website. We can set up a session for readings or healings or teachings. Oh my. So thanks for being a part of my night. Thanks for being a part of my life. I appreciate you, and I hope you will join me again next week. Invite your friends. Share this video as far and wide as you would like. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining.